Well, hey everyone, this is Michael again, and we are live. It is a Thursday night here. It's been a while since I did a live stream, and just wanted to come on here and just hang out with you guys for the night. And I hope you all enjoyed my Monday Night Raw review on Monday and my AEW Dynamite review last night. Really like that end into Dynamite with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and Christian Cage telling his best friend of 40 years to go fuck himself. And you already know that AEW set up a potential match with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and whenever it comes, it's going to be a awesome, fantastic match. So, got a comment here from Matthew Johnson. Did you see the trailer for Good Burger 2? Yes, I did see it. And I thought it was pretty fun. I think it looks okay. And I'm going to give it a watch. It's coming out next month on Paramount Plus. So I don't know if it's coming out before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving. Possibly my prediction may be before, but let me look it up here just in case. So, but how you guys doing on this Thursday night? Yeah, it's coming out November 22nd. So, yeah, Good Burger 2 is coming out on November 22nd, next month. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to Good Burger 2. And what's funny was I saw a few weeks back the first movie, Good Burger, on the big screen, and my local Alamo Draft House was having a movie party for it, and I couldn't miss out on going to see the film on the big screen, and it just felt like watching the film. At that time when it came out in 1997. See, when I see older films in the theater, I sense, what was it like seeing the film for the first time, when it came out? Like I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I think it was last year at my local Alamo Draft House. They had a screening of it, and I was just so in awe by how fantastic the film looked on the big screen. When the big spaceship, came over. It was just absolutely fantastic on the big screen. I saw Superman, the movie, the original classic 1978 film with Christopher Reeve on the big screen at my local Alamo Draft House, and that was fantastic. So, but really like watching older films, in the theater with an audience. It just makes it, just very, great and worth the experience. The best experience that I been to for an older movie was Beetlejuice. Last year they had a Beetlejuice movie party at my local Alamo Draft House, which I posted the video of it, and it was such a fun time. People were quoting the film. Yeah, at the end of the film, everybody was singing "Shake, Shake, Shake, Sonora." But an amazing time, it was. I actually do want to show uh, the props that they gave out for the Good Burger, movie party that I went to at my local Alamo Draft House. So let me get them right here. Okay, so pretty much this is what they handed out during the Good Burger movie party. They handed out this. It's a burger. It's like a stress burger. Like where you could like squeeze it, to get over your stress. It also came with a bag, which is cool. You know, little like bag you could put stuff in. And it also came with they also gave out a hat to wear. which was awesome. And then just the Ed's secret sauce gimmick that they did, where it's just like goo inside. What was funny was they're like, oh, it's not eatable, it's not edible. So that's what they gave out for the Good Burger movie party, and it was great seeing the film on the big screen. I had a really fun time. It was a good turnout. Well, hello, Will Farrell number one. Greetings. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Did you like the SmackDown episode where The Rock returned? I missed out on that SmackDown because I was busy, but I did see the clip of it, and it was cool. And The Rock was just here because of the writer's strike. Even John Cena, was there because of the writer's strike. But with The Rock, possibly being there, maybe, just maybe, at WrestleMania 40, if they do it, if The Rock's schedule, is good, maybe we get Rock versus Roman Reigns night one at WrestleMania 40, and then the next night have Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes as the main event for night two. Have Roman Reigns, main event the show for both nights. So, yeah, he said before Thanksgiving. No, thank you, Matthew Johnson. When Good Burger 2 is coming out. Tommy Pickles fan 1992, thank you for tuning in. I remember the Rugrats All Growed Up special. Yes, I remember that also. I remember watching it the night it premiered, and it was very cool, seeing, the Rugrats, Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Angelica, Susie, all growed up, in their teenage years. Although the series that followed after that wasn't that great, in my opinion. So it only worked as a, special. Who's your favorite football team? Of course, New York Giants. Yeah, laugh it off. Because I'm a Giants fan. You know how horrible, they're doing already. Out the season, started. So, were you ever a fan of the 2003 and 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon? Well, I only watched, a little bit of the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon, and I really enjoy it. I like the 1990 live action Ninja Turtle film. Of course, I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze, which is very fun. Which I don't know why people hate that film. And I like Ninja Rap, by Vanilla Ice. Guilty pleasure song. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, just terrible, terrible suits, for the Ninja Turtles. But never watched the 2003 and 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoons. I thought All Grown Up was okay. The Rugrats reboot, in my opinion, was a very huge mistake making. Oh yeah, that Rugrats reboot, absolutely horrible. Look how they designed them. It looks creepy, in my opinion. I watched literally like maybe like 10 minutes of the reboot and I shut it off. Absolutely terrible. Fuck that Rugrats reboot. Absolutely terrible. But says right there in the title here, yes, for WrestleMania 40, I am going to WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia next year. I'm going both nights. Going to be there at Lincoln Financial Field, and it's going to be my first WrestleMania, so I'm looking forward to it. I got club seats, for both nights, so like if it gets cold there, I could just go into the club, venue and just warm up and warm off. So this WrestleMania next year is going to be is going to be shaped up to be, you know, a big WrestleMania because it's the first WrestleMania in the merger, with WWE, UFC, TKO. So hopefully this WrestleMania next year will be good, and hopefully, we get The Rock there, and knowing WWE and TKO, you can already sense that maybe they're gonna go out, and get Stone Cold Steve Austin to appear at WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan. Who knows Hulk Hogan? So, but WrestleMania 40 is shaped up to be a good WrestleMania next year. Well, hopefully. So I have a sense, yeah, just going to WrestleMania next year, gonna experience, how it is to be at WrestleMania, live there. JVU, hey JVU, hey Michael, nice. How exciting. You ever been to Philly? No, this is gonna be my first time going to Philadelphia. And I want to check out the cheesesteaks there. You can't go to Philadelphia without having a Philly cheesesteak. And I want to check out the Liberty Bell, the Rocky Steps, which a lot of you might be shocked. I have never seen the Rocky films. Haven't, but I know of the scene where he's going up on the steps and boxing. So want to check out that. So gonna experience Philly for the first time next year. Nickelodeon should 100% cancel the Rugrats reboot. Even Grandpa Lou's voice sounded terrible. Yeah, I agree with that. The voice actor that's voicing Grandpa Lou sounds terrible. Nothing compared to the original actor that voiced him in the original series. Well, it's on Paramount Plus, the reboot, but Nickelodeon has shown uh, episodes of the reboot on their channel from just flipping through the channels. So when it gets canceled, it'll be forgotten about. Like everybody's gonna forget. Oh, they did a Rugrats reboot. Oh, I didn't know that. It's gonna be forgotten about. Everybody will remember the original series. That lasted from 1991 to 2004. Do you ever watch the Italian Stallion 51? No, I never watched his videos. Oh my god, you got to see Rocky. Yeah, at some point down the line, we'll get eventually a chance to watch the Rocky films. The original Rugrats was way better, hands down. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Matthew Johnson. It was my top favorite Nicktoon as a kid. It was my top favorite Nickelodeon show as a kid, next to Keenan and Kel and all that. Figure It Out. Rugrats will always be my top favorite Nicktoon ever, and my top favorite Nickelodeon show of the '90s. But I appreciate you guys, hanging out with me on the stream here tonight. I'm gonna get into my FastLane predictions. FastLane is this Saturday. It's gonna be on Peacock, and it's gonna be from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, going to show the match uh, card here, which the card is like looks okay, but I'm gonna show this here. Okay, so here is the card for Fastlane. Only 5 matches, so hopefully it'll be a short show and not go 3 hours, 4 hours. So we got Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a match that, you know, I don't want to see, Rollins and Nakamura go at it again, but it's a last man standing match. And Nakamura, the last time he was in a last man standing match was with AJ Styles at Money in the Bank 2018. And Styles won the match. Nakamura ended up losing. So will we get a repeat of, Seth Rollins win the match and Nakamura losing once again in a last man standing match? So maybe, but I'm gonna have to go with Seth Rollins. Here Nakamura, he's doing a good job, you know, as a heel, and I like how he's cutting his promos on Rollins. Just speaking in Japanese and seeing the subtitles in English on what he's saying. You know, in this match, Nakamura's gonna focus a lot on Seth Rollins' back because that's the target for Nakamura to attack, Seth Rollins, with his back. So it's the main, play in this situation. We have to go with Seth Rollins to win a last man standing match. Rollins will retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins is not losing that title anytime soon. Then right here, John Cena and LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline. Tag team match. And I say that John Cena and LA Knight are going to come out, maybe win the match, but I'm going to have to go with Jimmy and Solo Sikoa to win the match. The Bloodline, even though, it's a little rocky now, but I have to say they're going to win it. Jimmy and Solo Sikoa are definitely going to win the match. Or maybe John Cena might pin Jimmy and or Solo Sikoa. Who knows? But gonna have to go with the Bloodline here. Win the tag team match here. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, so next match here is Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair, triple threat match for the Women's Championship. Io Sky, she's the Women's Champion. In my mind, they're gonna give it to Charlotte Flair because, WWE loves to do it for Charlotte Flair. They do anything for Charlotte. Watch Charlotte win another reign as the Women's Champion. So yeah, I'm going with Charlotte Flair. Knowing WWE, they're gonna have Io Sky drop the title to Charlotte Flair. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting how they just give Charlotte everything because she's a Flair. Yeah, so I'm going with Charlotte Flair. And then here we have a six-man tag, the LWO, the Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, maybe Joaquin Wilde or Cruz del Toro versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. I'm really loving this thing with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. The Profits, turn heel. They're coming out wearing suits. This could be the next, Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And there's rumors, stating that, when Jade Cargill, comes to the roster, which from what I heard, Jade Cargill might debut at FastLane this Saturday. I would see WWE putting Jade Cargill with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Because there's already talk, Jade Cargill's probably not going to go to NXT. She's going to be on Monday Night Raw. So if that's the case, why are they just bringing Jade Cargill up like that? Have her get some training down at the Performance Center, a whole lot more. Let her go through NXT. And then when she's ready to come up to the main roster, you put her anywhere. But no, WWE is speed rushing Jade Cargill to the roster, from what I heard. So, like I said, I heard that she's going to be on Monday Night Raw. So, but since Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, are on SmackDown, maybe Jade Cargill could possibly go to SmackDown. This is all rumors, coming from these, articles that, being read online. But who knows? But I really like to see, when Bianca Belair, comes back, her being cited, to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I mean, her husband, Montez Ford, is there. So, but if WWE decides to have Jade Cargill on SmackDown rather than Monday Night Raw, can you imagine seeing Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill, together in this, stable? That would be pretty interesting. Like I said, I really like what they're doing with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. But if I have to choose who will win this match, the six-man tag, I'm going with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And then the main event, tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, the Judgment Day, Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, to which Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso teaming up, I find that just very weird, in my opinion. But the Judgment Day, Balor and Priest, I think they're going to retain the titles. I think they're going to be Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Dominic Mysterio just won back the NXT North American Championship Tuesday by defeating Trick Williams. So I'm like, why at NXT No Mercy, Trick Williams defeated Dominic Mysterio and won the title, only for him to drop it back to Dominic on Tuesday? Made no sense. Made no fucking sense. So I'm going with the Judgment Day to win the tag team match and retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. So, those are my predictions for FastLane on Saturday. We'd like to hear your predictions for FastLane, if you would like to. So, but FastLane, hopefully it'll be an okay show. I don't expect it to be a 10 out of 10 show or a fantastic show or even a good show by any means. I have a feeling it's just going to be an okay show, but forgettable. So those are my predictions for FastLane. Is it cooler weather-wise where you are? Well, this week it's been hot. It's been in the 70s and the 80s, but next week here it's going to feel like fall. We're going to get fall weather, and going back to wearing hoodies. So yeah, it's not cooler here yet until next week. Did you hear Kevin Spacey had a heart attack? No, I didn't. When did that happen? Well, prayers to Kevin Spacey. But go look into movie news here, or well, I'll save the movie news, for a little later. Just want to show you all movies that I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. I know some got pushed back, because of the strike. So, but see movies that are coming out. See. It happened just this week. Oh wow! Well, thoughts and prayers to Kevin Spacey. Did you hear on NXT they're gonna have Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Paul Heyman, and Asuka on NXT next week? Yes, yes, I did see that. Do you see it beating AEW in the ratings next week? Well, AEW have Adam Copeland in his debut match in AEW against Luchasaurus. So, you know, everybody's going to be watching Dynamite next week. I think Dynamite is going to come out, winning the ratings, against NXT. NXT, just by them saying, oh, we're going to have Cody Rhodes, we're going to have John Cena, we're going to have Paul Heyman and Asuka, shows the desperation just for them to get ratings, for NXT. So my go-to show for next week will be Dynamite. NXT will be on the back burner for me. What celebrities are you looking forward to meeting at the convention? Well, I'm going to Comic-Con next week, and I'm going to get a photo op with Ashley Johnson. She was in the TV show Blind Spot when it was on. She was, she did the voice of Elle in the Last of Us game. So I'm meeting her. Uh, I am going to get a photo with MJF. Yes, I'm going to get a photo with him. So I'm looking forward to that and how that goes. If he's going to be in his baby face that we're seeing, his baby face character that we're seeing on Dynamite, or his cockish heel persona. So yes, I'm gonna get MJF. I do want to get Catherine Newton from Freaky, which is the movie that she did with Vince Vaughn. It was kind of like a Freaky Friday film, which I did a review on that film, which I really did enjoy it. I really enjoyed Freaky. I think it's very underrated, and it's very funny too. So I want to get a photo op with her. I want to get John Carpenter. John Carpenter's going to be there. Hopefully, get a chance to meet him. Have him sign my Blu-ray of the Thing. Want to get a photo op with him also, a photo with him also, but we'll see. Tim Curry's also going to be there, which it's great to see. Tim Curry, doing a photo op there at New York Comic Con. And Susan Sarandon is going to be there. Both of them were, of course, in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which shockingly I never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. But I've seen clips of it here and there. Heard it's a classic. Yeah, so those are some of the celebs I'm looking forward to meeting at Comic Con. Chris Evans is going to be there, but tickets for him went like that. They went quick. Also, Ewan McGregor is going to be there. So we'll see what celebs I get. Those are the ones that I got so far: Ashley Johnson and MJF. Did you see MJF coming to WWE next year because he didn't sign extension on his contract? Because that's what he said on Twitter. And do you see him coming to WWE and maybe feuding with Cody Rhodes? Maybe. Well, MJF still keeps bringing up, 2024. Am I going to resign with AEW or I'm going to sign with WWE? To me, I wouldn't mind seeing MJF come to WWE, but he's not going to deliver, the hard hitting promos that he does in AEW because it's going to be so watered down in WWE if he does sign there. But like I said, I wouldn't mind if he comes to WWE. I see him more as a lifer in AEW. But if he comes to WWE, maybe feuding with Cody Rhodes, that would be good. That would be interesting. Tim Curry is one of my favorite actors. He's one of my favorite actors too. So sad he had a mini stroke. Yeah, it's very sad. But it looks like he's doing good. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is a classic. Definitely watch it. I know the songs from it. You know, uh, science fiction. The beginning song, science fiction double feature. The Time Warp, of course. Did you hear they're making a Beetlejuice too? Looks like Johnny Depp is going to be in it with Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Yeah, I did hear about Beetlejuice 2. Of course, going to be once again directed by Tim Burton. And if Johnny Depp is going to be in it, Tim Burton always uses Johnny Depp a lot. So Michael Keaton return as Beetlejuice, is good, but I'd rather wait for a trailer to see, how I feel on it. It's been so long since Beetlejuice came out. I mean, it came out in the late 80s. It came out in 1988. So if it has a good story and such to it, maybe it'll end up being decent. Maybe it won't be as good as the first, but still I think it could be a decent fun time. Like I said, I just want to wait for a trailer. So I'm going to show the upcoming releases here on IMDb here. So it's coming out tomorrow. Got The Exorcist, The Believer. Don't even care. I haven't even seen the original Exorcist. So yeah, that's crazy. Not a whole lot, looking forward to here. So that's for tomorrow. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. I like Taylor Swift's music. It's very good. 20th. Got Killers of the Flower Moon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons. I think this is directed by Martin Scorsese. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Martin Scorsese was one of the writers on the film. Did not see the trailer to it. Five Nights at Freddy's. Matthew Lillard's in it. Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, Mary Stuart Masterson. I never played Five Nights at Freddy's. I seen the trailer to it. It looks intense, but not something I would go out to the theater and watch. Like, oh, I gotta go see this. I gotta see that. It's Five Nights at Freddy's there. Halloween, nothing. Nothing in November here. First week in November. Yeah, the Marvels. Looking forward to the Marvels. I like, how it connects, with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, herself. And I like the Miss Marvel series. So got, of course, Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. But I'm looking forward to the film. I think it's going to be a fun time. Or it's going to be short. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. but I'm looking forward to it. Of course, you got Goose over there, the cat, who, in my opinion, was one of the characters that stole the show. Captain Marvel was the cat. Yeah, but the Marvels, like I said, looks like a fun time. That's coming out on the 10th. The Hunger Games, the Ballad, Songbirds and Snakes is the prequel to the Hunger Games films with Jennifer Lawrence, and I liked all the Hunger Games films. I reviewed them all, so check out my reviews of them if you guys haven't seen it. But I'm looking forward to the prequel to this. I saw the trailer to it. Interesting. Has Jason Schwartzman in it. Really looking forward to it. Wow, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Oh, geez. Almost 3 hours. Rolling Snow mentors and develops feelings for the female District 12 tribute during the 10th Hunger Games. Has Rachel Ziegler in it. Peter Dinklage is in it. Viola Davis. Yeah. Cornelius Snow at age 18, years before he would become the tyrannical president of Panem. Young Cornelius is handsome and charming, and though the Snow family has fallen on hard times, he sees a chance for a change in his fortunes when he is chosen to be a mentor for the 10th Hunger Games, only to have his elation dashed when he is assigned to mentor the girl tribute from impoverished District 12. And of course, it's set 64 years prior, inverse in the Hunger Games, world. But looking forward to it. Okay, that comes out on November 17th. This film, seems interesting here. Wish. It's a Disney film. Here, yeah, it has Chris Pine in it, voice actors. Has Alan Tudyk, from Resident Alien, which I really like that show with him in it. Has Victor Garber. Wish will follow a young girl named Aisha who wishes on a star and gets a more direct answer than she bargained for when a troublemaker star comes down from the sky to join her. Yeah, it could be a great film. Looks cute from the animation. So, give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I am back. But yeah, Wish looks, cute. Looking forward to it. There's an Animal Crossing film coming out in December. Wonka. I saw the trailer for that, which stars Timothy Chalamet. Hugh Grant's in it, and Rowan Atkinson uh, is in it as well. It was good to see Rowan Atkinson in it. He was in the trailer. So Wonka, I'm interested in checking out. I'm interested in checking it out. I like the trailer. Aquaman Lost Kingdom coming out on the 20th. Still haven't seen the first Aquaman. I've heard, pretty decent things about the first Aquaman, but probably got to give it a watch at some point. So, yeah, that's all that's coming out in December. Going into 2024 in January. Really? There's a Mean Girls musical? What? Is this off the like the Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan and they made it a musical? See this. Oh yeah, it is based off Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan. Tina Fey considered directing the film herself, but ultimately decided against it. Well, no shit. Does Mean Girls need a musical? I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Mean Girls, but I remember enjoying the film. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no thanks for no thanks Mean Girls musical. Can you believe that? Alec Baldwin was really great in Beetlejuice too, younger too. Yeah, I like the chemistry between Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis as a husband and wife in the film. Who else do you see from AEW going to WWE? Well, Ricky Starks maybe. Ricky Starks I could see going to WWE. Warlow I could definitely see. Uh, Maybe Powerhouse Will Hobbs. Powerhouse Will Hobbs I could see going to WWE at some point. So those are some that come off the top of my head. We know the Young Bucks are probably not never going to go to WWE. Hell, even Kenny Omega probably never go to WWE. I don't know if I was watching the original Exorcist if you were raised Catholic. Yeah, I'm excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. Matthew Lillard's awesome. Yeah, Matthew Lillard. I like Matthew Lillard. Of course, he was Shaggy in the first two Scooby Doo films. Yeah, I liked him in Scream. He was good in Without a Paddle, which Without a Paddle is a fun, underrated film. And they even did a sequel to that film, which surprisingly was a okay film. It was an okay sequel, but it didn't have the actors from the first film. Five Nights at Freddy's is scary. Trust me, I watch YouTubers get really scared at it, like uh, Marky Pala, Jacksepticeye. I'm pronouncing the YouTubers' names wrong, and Venos and some others play the game and they jumped and got scared. Uh, I've seen, Five Nights at Freddy's, like from videos of people reacting to the game. I would never play it. I get scared easily. Five Nights at Freddy's will be 3 hours too. Yeah, I don't understand that. Why is Five Nights at Freddy's 3 hours, a 3 hour film? You can at least cut some stuff out. I mean, what is it? The film, like when you go to the 2 hour mark, the 2 hour and 30 mark, is it just going to be filler? Did you hear that? Jade Cargill is going to Monday Night Raw and she's going to show up at FastLane and she's going to be feuding with Rhea Ripley. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that she was going to be feuding with Rhea Ripley once She's on Monday Night Raw. But terrible that WWE is just putting Jade Cargill on the main roster already. I mean, have her get some training in the Performance Center, which she was down there, and they should have her go through NXT. Have her down in NXT for like a year, and then when she's good and ready, when she can actually show that she is really ready for the main roster, then they bring her up. I don't understand why they are rushing Jade Cargill to the main roster already. I mean, you're gonna have, Rhea Ripley, hold on to her title for a while. I don't see Rhea Ripley dropping the title to Jade Cargill if that match takes place, which, obviously it will. But I see if that match comes into play, Rhea Ripley is just going to retain the title. November 17th is my birthday. Oh, nice. Yeah. My birthday is next Sunday. It's on October 15th. I'll be at Comic-Con for my birthday. So I'll be there. What are your thoughts on Toy Story 5? And I'm like, all right, Toy Story 5, give us a good story, because Toy Story 4 ended it, very good. I mean, what else could they do for Toy Story? From what I heard, from Toy Story 5, the story, and this is all rumors, that the toys are going to find Andy again, or something like that. That's what I heard. That's the rumored story of Toy Story 5. Mean Girls musical? No thanks. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks for me either. I don't understand why Mean Girls needs a musical. Hey Brian, how you doing? I'm doing good. How's your Thursday night going? The Edge and Christian segment last night was amazing. Christian is the best heel in wrestling. He really is. Even his heel, turn in WWE, when he was heel there was very good. I always loved the temper tantrum that he used to do. Like that was around like 2002-ish. When he had his theme song, it was like Christian, now you're on your own, like that. But yeah, I gotta see if I could show that video here of Christian doing a temper tantrum. It's really hilarious. Give me one. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I am back. Oh yeah, I want to show the uh, the Christian video here. Back in the day when he used to do the temper tantrum, and it was just so hilarious. This was during WrestleMania 18 when he lost to DDP. It's just absolutely hilarious. He's flopping around the ring.
How embarrassing is that? In his former hometown at WrestleMania 18, going a temper tantrum like a little bitty baby. Well, and he had done such a good job holding off
Yeah, that's just hilarious. But yeah, that's what he used to do. And that commentary by JR was great. Get him a diaper, powder his bottom. Jay will feud with Natalia or Nia Jax first. God, can you imagine Jade versus Nia Jax? That would be my reaction to the match. Just another woman for Nia Jax to injure. How are you doing after having COVID? I'm doing good. Uh, my stuffiness went away on Monday, and I had COVID uh, on I think it was like last Monday. I started feeling it because I thought it was a head cold at first. Because I had a stuffy nose and I had a cough here and there, and to me, I thought it was a head cold. So I went to work, you know, feeling like that. I went to work thinking, oh, it was just a head cold. This ain't COVID, or anything. And then when I was home, I was like, okay, just let me test myself, see if it's really COVID or not, or if it's just a head cold. I had my sister, test me. We did the at home COVID test, and it turned out I was positive. I was positive for COVID. So I had to do my 5-day quarantine where I didn't have to go to work. I had to stay out of there, and I went back to work on Tuesday, and wearing my mask because at my job, it's 10 days that I have to wear the mask, just to not get anybody else like sick there. So, but I'm doing fine now. Stuffiness went away. My cough comes here and there. It's lingering, but it's nothing bad. It's not as worse the first time that I had COVID. I had it back in February of 2021, and I had it mild. Like I felt like I had chest pains and a headache. Felt like dizzy, and it was just bad. And uh, then I got the vaccine, and now that I had you know COVID again, it wasn't bad this time. It was just a normal cold. And a lot of people said, "Oh, you just feel like that because you got you had the vaccine and you don't you know feel like how you felt the first time you got it." This was the first time I got COVID in 2 years, so it was a little relaxation from work, and trying to recuperate. So, but I am doing better. Do you think Punk will be wrestling at Mania 40? Well, maybe. There's lots of rumors saying that CM Punk will come back to WWE. There was, little signs, in Seth Rollins' promo, doing these little tidbits on Punk. So, but who knows? It's all up to, Vince McMahon. If Vince wants to bring back Punk. Raw feels like a full Triple H show ever since the merger. Gunther versus Ciampa was great. Yeah, it was a very good match. It was a good main event to Monday Night Raw. But I knew Gunther was going to retain the title. I mean, Gunther, he's not losing the Intercontinental Championship anytime soon. He's the longest reigning, Intercontinental Champion. But Raw feeling like a full Triple H show. You get little bits of Triple H in there, and then little bits of Vince. So, but still at times, Raw is still decent or just a pretty meh show to terrible. But I have to say, Raw, in my opinion, just by the shows that we have gotten, it's better than SmackDown. It's doing better than SmackDown, in my opinion. I just had a sinus infection. It goes around this time of the year. Yeah, you got your, it's because of the weather. The weather, like messes with you. Sometimes, I live in New York. Sometimes, we get days where it's chilly and days where it's warm. It's like we got bipolar weather here in New York. One day it's hot, one day it's cold. It's crazy. But yeah, it's the type of year, it's the time of year where people start getting colds and everything. I live in New York as well. Oh, nice. Raw sing along with Cody and Rollins. Of course, you have whoa with Cody and then whoa with Seth Rollins. Even at Grand Slam, when Moxley did the stomp, people in the crowd were doing whoa. I'm like, why? Why are you doing, the Rollins song? This was at Grand Slam. And it's bad enough that we're gonna have to hear, Cody's whoa on Monday, and then on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we're gonna get whoa. I'm sorry, I'm doing Rollins. No, whoa with Cody. We're gonna get that on Monday and on Tuesday. God, have sing along on Monday Night Raw and on NXT this upcoming week. Got to go get dinner. I'm out here on the West Coast. Glad I finally caught one of you lives. Hope you have a great birthday. Well, thank you, JVU. Enjoy your dinner. And thank you for tuning in. And he is on SmackDown tomorrow. Really? Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown tomorrow? Great. So we're going to get whoa tomorrow and whoa Monday, whoa Tuesday. Oh my God. So we're going to get sing along tomorrow, sing along on Raw, sing along on NXT. God. Jeez. But I want to share this video out because this video I watched here on YouTube. It's very interesting. It's about this guy who owns 17,000 VHSs, and I was like, "Oh, they're, some of them are factory sealed, and goes for X amount of money. Probably they're very rare." So I want to let you all watch this video with me because this is a guy named Cole Hitt, and this guy was part of the VHS collector funded VHS DNA, which I heard got merged or out of business or something like that. Maybe wrong on it though, but this is a great video here that I want to show. This is under Golden, which is the YouTube channel name. But here is the video here. You guys will probably enjoy this. Here it is. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Cole Hitt, and this is my VHS collection. I've currently got about 17,000 VHS, and this is half of that, which are some of my personal favorites and some of the more sentimental movies to me. We'll start off with some of my favorites over here that I keep in these cases. These are kind of the holy grails of VHS, in my opinion. You've got your first edition Jaws sealed here. Extremely rare to find sealed.
At a sealed Jaws on VHS there. Look at that. But it's all nostalgic here with VHSs here, from this guy.
Even harder to find in this type of condition. This right here is special. Not a huge blockbuster title, but it is one of the first VHS that ever came out, and it does have the magnetic watermark, which is extremely rare to see.
So some of these, he has copies. He has a lot of copies, and he ends up going by, watermarks that are on the factory seal of the VHS. And, it's nostalgic because I remember, buying some VHS as a kid and, seeing watermarks on there. It just brings, nostalgic, back to me, just seeing, how these VHSs look, still in their factory sealed, with watermarks. But let's continue.
This really cool Beatles Let It Be, extremely rare VHS to find. This came out right before the band broke up, so they had to recall most of these out of the retail stores and pull them off the shelf. So that's makes this a little rarer. Other good ones, you got a first edition Goonies in there. You got a second edition 2001 Space.
Yeah, I actually have that first edition of the Goonies. It's right up here. So it's right up on my shelf over there.
Odyssey, one of my favorite VHS. The cover art is great on this. Extremely rare to find sealed. Night of the Creeps. This 1982 first commercial release Star Wars sealed. Extremely rare to find. Got the Sandlot screener.
Never seen that screener of the Sandlot.
Land Before Time screener. Planet of the Apes. And the first Planet of the Apes, magnetic. You've got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade Super VHS. A VHS that came out with the Super VCR. Extremely rare variant of the first Batman release. This is a compliments of Diet Coke. I got Yeah,
that Batman VHS that he showed right there. That's very rare, with the supplements of Diet Coke on it. You rarely see that VHS. I tried to look it up on eBay, couldn't even find one.
Weekend at Bernie's, signed by the whole cast. I love that. That's one of my favorite. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. This screening cassette of Scent of a Woman, signed by Al Pacino. He won the Academy Award for this, so this is pretty special to have him sign that.
Nice.
One of the rarer tapes in this whole room is this E.T. edition.
Oh, listen to this E.T. VHS, because I never even knew, about, this. So I'll let him explain it.
That was a rental car edition. This would have come with your rental car for you to watch inside the car.
Did you all know about that? VHS in a rental car? Never even knew about that.
I didn't even know they had VCR players in your rental car.
Yeah, that's that was probably a special upgrade. And then you got E.T. with it. RoboCop screening preview. I love the cover art on this. So nice. This would have been sent to the video store, and the video store would have decided how many copies of RoboCop they were going to order. My favorite movie of all time, The Royal Tenenbaums. This is signed by Gene Hackman, who plays Royal Tenenbaum.
Nice.
We've got a first edition Halloween here. School Ties. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, thinking that was the coolest movie, with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Brendan Fraser. Here's a sealed copy of Dazed and Confused screening cassette.
One of my
extremely rare to find sealed like
movies.
That. Stand By Me. I'll never forget seeing that when I was a kid. The Day the Earth Stood Still. Here's an original copy of magnetic release. That's 1978. Gumby. I hunt Gumby VHS.
Do you think there are many people like you that hunt Gumby VHS?
No, probably not.
I never grew up with
Ghostbusters
way before my
promotional
time.
copy. This would have been sent to the video store to see how many copies they wanted. This is an Academy Award screener for Die Hard. Extremely rare to find. This is one of the only copies I've ever seen open, so I don't think any would exist sealed. Punch Drunk Love Academy Award screener, and then Boogie Nights Academy Award screener. 5 different variants of Alien. So for this Alien, you've got the backside Fox video watermarks. This one, you've got the CBS Fox watermarks. This one, you've got the backside Fox video, and then you got the bottom CBS Fox
those
board.
copies. All those copies.
And so is this common, or was this just with the major blockbusters where there's so many variants?
Yeah, more so with the major blockbusters because they release so many of them. For instance, if they released one, then a year later they were releasing more, they would just recycle the sleeve, but they would put different watermarks and different wraps on it. History of Violence, one of my favorite to collect. I'm like Gumby, I'm always looking for History of Violence. Significant of History of Violence, this is the last film that was ever released on VHS in 2006. We've got some of the first VHS that were ever produced. These are the magnetic releases. These were the 1978 to 1980, 81 copies. Sound of Music, Patton, and MASH were the first 3 films released on VHS in America. So if you were to find a sealed copy of any of those 3, you're sitting on a great VHS. Followed by some of the media release. These were some of the original early releases of VHS right here. These 2 companies, Media and Magnetic.
What does the artwork look on those? Are they just white cases?
Yeah, VHS has always had good artwork.
That's the best reason to collect these old media, because the artwork is great. Chinatown, I'm a huge fan of, and just look at how many different variations of Chinatown there are.
A lot of
it's
variations of Chinatown.
Your first release, First Blood, is this Thorn EMI clamshell. I've never seen one of these sealed. Ghostbusters, very sought after VHS, sealed condition, all the different variants.
Those are very rare.
Harry Potter
sealed Ghostbusters
and the Philosopher's
VHS.
Stone. This is a European release. This was the first copy of Harry Potter to come out. This was 2004. Anything released 2000 to 2006 is pretty rare because there just weren't a lot of them made. Godfather. So they released them as individual, and then the trilogy started to come around, and there's probably 4 or 5 different trilogies and collector sets of The Godfather. Here's a good example, Karate Kid Part 2. All of these look the same, but they're all
I'm just amazed by how much
You've got your rarest of the rare,
has.
which is your promo copy. Then you've got your first edition with the backside watermarks vertical, and then you've got your third edition with the side watermarks. Each of them have their own rarity. Obviously, the later one is probably easier to find than the other 2, but Karate Kid is extremely rare to find. Lethal Weapon. So the earlier Warners had the big watermarks that kind of come across the front like this, and maybe the back. Then it transitioned into the bottom. So one tell sign for someone out there, a new collector, is always look for watermarks that are vertical or horizontal on the VHS. That's your first editions and earlier copies. Everything later started to put everything on the bottom. This is one of my favorite Mike Tyson knockouts.
That's Mike Tyson.
Here I've got the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl VHS. To the Green Bay Packer fan out there, wouldn't you love to have this? Princess Bride has been a huge title so far. I'm seeing out there in the market.
I've never seen Princess Bride before. Yeah, I've never seen Princess Bride before, but I've heard of it though. I've seen clips here and there. Andre the Giant, was in it. I gotta check out Princess Bride at some point.
Mad Max, first edition Vestron. If you were to find one of these sealed, that would be a holy grail type VHS for sure.
And in most of the cases of the ones that happen to be sealed, were they just kind of store or promo copies that nobody ever opened, or did people actually buy multiple ones, one that they played and one that they kept sealed?
You run into a few people that would buy one to watch and then one to collect. And that's kind of what I did.
Wow. I never did that, though. I only just bought a VHS, watched it, went right into my collection.
I had the opportunity while my dad worked at Walmart and Sam's Club to see all of these movies come out and hit the floor. With the discount that he would get, I would try to snatch up everything I could. When VHS first came out, they were about $70, $80, some of the first VHS. And, you know, even in the mid 90s, VHS were $25, $30, which was expensive at the time. Rocky has been a huge title so far in this market. Everybody loves the Rocky, one of my favorites, classic. If you can find one of the first edition Rockies, you'll be looking for these CBS Fox big boxes. Royal Tenenbaums I collect a lot of Royal Tenenbaums and Rushmores just because those are two of my favorite movies of all time. I hoard them for some reason. I see them and then I gotta have them. This Party of Five. This is one of my favorite VHS just because of this guy on the back. It came with its own tissue pack, just in case it was going to be a cry fest. Starship Troopers, huge, iconic, cult favorite. Here's the Academy Awards screener for that, which it didn't win any Academy Awards. The Shining. Love The Shining. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Speaking of The Shining, I'd never seen The Shining, but I just recently bought it on a 4K, so I'm going to give it a watch at some point. I want to see it.
Turtles. I was a huge fan of that as a kid.
So
then it became all about collecting each episode or tape from the series. And I think I'm only 1 or 2 tapes away from having the whole series. Wow. Top Gun, that's a huge title right now. I knew how popular it was going to be, so I tried to collect every different.
Never seen Top Gun either.
Different type of variation I could of it. Here's a great rare title, Diet Pepsi promo. The first edition Wizard of Oz, really neat. Here we get into some of my more substantial collections of different titles, like Star Wars. I've got every variation of Star Wars from 1982 to now. There's 14 releases of Star Wars from 1982 to 1992.
Wow.
And again,
10 years
helps to have this type of collection when I'm grading, because if I haven't seen something before, or, if I notice the corner on this one is damaged and I get one that isn't damaged, then I come look and I can cross-examine and compare and contrast all of this stuff. Here's some of my favorite horror movies, some of the more collectible horror movies.
Fright Night.
Like you've got Christmas Evil. I love this cover art. That's the beta, and this is the VHS. Some of the rare horror movies out there are these old Wizard Video or Midnight Video, big box, Corridor Girls. These are... Talk about some classic cover art are these old horror movies.
So these large boxes were literally just called Big Box.
Yep. Big Box VHS.
Not a very creative name, just...
No, pretty self-explanatory. I Spit on Your Grave. That's a huge cult classic. I don't know that I've ever seen any of these old horror movies sealed at all. Here you've got some of the rarest horror films on the planet. This is a first edition Nightmare on Elm Street sealed. I've got this one sealed. I got lucky enough to find one sealed a few years ago. The biggest tell sign between the first edition and second edition, when they look the same, is the bottom. So the first edition has the bottom flat, the second edition does not. That type of detail is what I'm just showing all the different educate the consumer on variation more and more as this market grows. VHS, just what to
different
look
boxes.
Friday the 13th here. So you've got what look like the same exact VHS. Maybe you can tell a little bit of difference between this Paramount is a little smaller than that one. So then you dive into, well, why is this one smaller? So then you investigate it a little bit more. You turn it over, boom, we've got the bigger watermarks on the back. So that means this was early, very early.
I was just so
I
fascinated when I
love
watched
these old Paramount
this
watermarks.
video of his whole collection.
But again, were they doing it with a purpose, or it just happenstance?
It just happenstance, and different distributors or distribution centers over the country would do different things. Here's your first edition copy of Friday the 13th gatefold.
The gatefold.
I've never seen one of these sealed.
Wait, what did you say it was called? Gatefold?
So this is a gatefold when the front opens like this.
It probably makes it even harder to have in good condition, because that seems like it could be very, very fragile. That gate.
Big time. If you find these any title, any Paramount title with this gatefold, snatch it up.
Yeah,
Rare.
very, very rare you would come across a gatefold, just factory sealed.
Signature editions. So signature editions means all of these are autographed by somebody. Like Caddyshack 2 had Jason Silverman sign this. Son-in-Law, here's a good one signed by Pauly Shore. Really neat. Here's Chris Evans on Fantastic Four. Kind of a big box office flop, but cult classic.
Well, wasn't really a box office flop. I mean, they made, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, so it was Fantastic Four was a decent hit. It wasn't a flop though. I mean, I understand, he messed up, on that though, but still it wasn't a flop.
Classic now because Chris Evans is obviously Captain America, so here's his, other Marvel role as Johnny Storm. Scream variant signed by Nev Campbell with Sydney on it.
Awesome.
Jason Alexander, I had him sign on Seinfeld's face and put George on there.
Nice.
I've acquired most of these over the last couple decades, but when COVID hit and the Comic-Con started to close down, all these celebrities started doing send-in services. So it was just like, oh man, I can send in 2 or 3 VHS and have them sign it. This is perfect. You've got your 1989 Back to the Future. And again, you can tell by the early and late from the watermarks. That's an early watermark. That's a later one that didn't have the box around it. Back to the Future.
It's very rare to find a Back to the Future in its factory seal from like 1986. Because I have the 86 VHS and also have the box set of all 3 films on VHS. Very rare to come across a factory sealed, Back to the Future from 86 on VHS.
Sure, there's always going to be a following for that. Obviously, I hoarded them because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Then you've got these special 1995, which are pretty rare, actually. So what's different about these 1995s is they still have the MCA logo up here, but they have the universal watermarks. Indiana Jones, another one of my favorite movies.
Classic.
I've got the Japanese version of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Here you've got your special collector's edition, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is extremely rare to find sealed like this. What's different about these, again, they had the backside watermarks across them. There are so many different variations of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You've got at least 6 variations of this just right here within this. Wow. This is probably the most widely recognized trilogy of Star Wars. One of the most popular ones. Later release stuff is easier to find than the older, but Star Wars is just so prolific that some of this stuff is everything Star Wars is becoming more and more rare. This one, probably one of the rarest VHS in this room. Oh, jeez. Pulp Fiction's thrown at me. This was, I guess, a gift that Rupert Murdoch gave all of his employees. It's a trilogy, Star Wars trilogy for Christmas.
Pretty cool with a note on it.
You just found that online?
Yes, I found this with that note attached to it. It didn't say anything about the note in the description. I just thought that was so neat.
on
Pulp
mine on
Fiction,
eBay.
one of my all-time favorite movies. There's 3 different variations of Pulp Fiction. I try to collect each one multiple times, sealed and unsealed. There's the special collector's edition, and then there's the original, and then there's the
Another
letterbox
film that
edition.
I
Pulp
haven't
Fiction
seen.
is
Pulp
becoming
Fiction.
more and more scarce. VHS is just a natural extension of what you're passionate about with film. Here you get into a lot of the TV episodes
You
like
say the same
Gilligan's
for
Island,
DVDs,
Power
Blu-rays, and
Rangers,
4Ks.
Pokemon, Star Trek, Brady Bunch, I Love Lucy. So yeah, I collect all that old stuff. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's my VHS collection. When I'm looking up here at the wall and I look at Clarissa Explains It All, I mean, I remember watching that on Nickelodeon every night. Milo and Otis, I remember me and my mom going to see that movie in theaters when I was a little kid, and I loved it. I'm a huge Arkansas Razorback fan. I'm from Arkansas, so any Razorback VHS I can find, I snatch it up.
How many do you think you'll end up with?
Gosh, at this point, if this market really takes off, I see myself just continuing to acquire and acquire. As the market grows, more and more VHS will start coming out of the woodwork. I think that's what I'm most excited about. And there's probably stuff that I haven't seen that I look forward to seeing kind of surface.
Yeah,
Hi.
that's a great video there. I was just, so enthralled about, his collection. It's just absolutely great. So 1,700 VHSs. And he has one big collection. But that guy is awesome for having that much of a VHS collection. Having that much VHS is insane. Yeah, it is. It is, Brian. Hey, Mohammed. How you doing? Happy Thursday on a Thursday night. Hope you are doing well, man. Same with everyone here in live chat. Yeah, I'm doing well, Mohammed. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Thoughts on Adam Copeland and Christian Cage reuniting on AEW last night? I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome to see Adam Copeland and Christian Cage in the same ring together. It's been a long while since we've seen Copeland and Christian in the ring together, and it just made for a amazing moment. But if any of you want to come up on be on panel here, there's the link. So here you go. Let's see if there's any wrestling news. Go to WrestleMania.com. See what they have on here. Okay, so I'm on WrestleMania.com. See if there's any wrestling news here. The WWE Knicks plans to reunite Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa over the summer. Per Fightful Select, Gargano and Ciampa were previously slated to reform DIY earlier in the summer on WWE television, but those plans were nixed alongside several other storylines. Upon his television return on the June 19th episode of Raw, Ciampa answered an open challenge put forth by The Miz, who was originally intended to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Due to a pre-match beatdown by Balor, though Rollins wasn't able to defend his title, which led to The Miz offering up a match against any competitor in the Raw locker room. So they were supposed to reunite, over the summer, but that didn't happen. But we saw it Monday on Raw, but then they cut off the stream or they cut off the feed just like that. So Muhammad Hassan. I remember Muhammad Hassan. You know, WWE, they should have pushed Muhammad Hassan or gave him a good push. He didn't deserve all the hate, that he got. WWE's Raquel Rodriguez hopes to come to an agreement with Rhea Ripley over Nia Jax. Raquel Rodriguez, she was on the bump. She kept saying, I was this close to defeating Rhea Ripley. And I could see the gold. I could taste it. So she's like, here, Rhea and I do have similar beef with Nia Jax. Maybe there's some point where we could come to some kind of agreement. Raquel Rodriguez hopes that she and Rhea Ripley can put their animosity aside to eliminate Nia Jax from the picture, which would finally give Raquel and Rhea the space to go head to head and find out who the better woman is once and for all. Do I care? No. John Cena hypes upcoming NXT appearance. He's going to be in the corner of Carmelo Hayes. And John Cena, like I said, he's there just for a rating. Because NXT is desperate because they're going up against AEW next Tuesday. Backstage news on injury Sammy Guevara reportedly suffered at WrestleDream. According to veteran wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer, who was speaking on the Wrestling Observer radio show, Guevara suffered a concussion on Sunday night at WrestleDream. Meltzer was unsure how much time Guevara would miss as a result of his injury. That's why he was not medically cleared to compete last night on Dynamite, and Don Callis went out and got Kyle Fletcher to replace Guevara. So it was, Jericho and Omega versus Kyle Fletcher and also Konosuke Takeshita last night. So Guevara had a concussion at WrestleDream on Sunday. Let's see here. Shawn Michaels provides an update on NXT Europe. WWE is now hoping to have NXT Europe up and running in 2024. So it's up. It's now hoping to have it up and running next year. We'll see. So Michaels ended up saying on the NXT No Mercy media call, on NXT Europe, I'm obviously looking forward to that. But from my standpoint, I'm still waiting to find out. Michael said on the NXT No Mercy media call. Obviously, I think we're all very excited that at least now we can start getting that underway and hopefully again bring it to everybody. I think as Triple H mentioned in 2024. But right now, I'm a soldier that's just waiting on marching orders, but I'm definitely ready to go. So NXT Europe will possibly be up and running next year. It could possibly be good, NXT Europe. Billy Starks announces she has officially signed with AEW. Starks announced that she officially signed with the promotion on Wrestling Observer Live, referring to herself as a signed talent, but not making it clear when she signed with the promotion. She's been a standout performer on Ring of Honor programming as the plucky minion of Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena. Starks made her AEW debut at the end of last year on AEW Dark and had a number of matches before showing up on Ring of Honor programming, where she both manages and is mentored by Athena. So she has officially signed with AEW. Yeah, Warlow returned last night on Dynamite. He's been off since June. Julia Hart reportedly taking time off from AEW after standout Wrestle Dream performance. Yeah, her match, at Wrestle Dream was awesome. I really like her entrance, when she comes out, and also the music to her entrance, is very good. Fightful Select reports that Julia Hart is scheduled to have time off following pay-per-view with no return date firmly set in stone. It isn't due to an injury, and she will be on her honeymoon following her wedding to fellow AEW Ring of Honor star Lee Johnson, who will also be taking time away. Well, congrats on the wedding for them. Johnson has been competing regularly on Ring of Honor programming over the last month, most notably taking on then Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli. So Julia Hart and Lee Johnson met while training at the Nightmare Factory. They began dating in 2021 and announced their engagement in October last year. An Instagram post by Julia Hart in September that made its way to social media indicated the wedding would take place on October 13th. Oh, so they're getting married next week, 2 days before my birthday. Well, congrats to Julia Hart and Lee Johnson. Christian Cage didn't even hug Adam Copeland back. That's how true heel Christian Cage is. Yeah. He's doing a good job, Christian, as a heel. Tony Schiavone says, God bless AEW's Darby Allin, doesn't know his condition. So speaking on his podcast, what happened when AEW commentator Tony Schiavone shared his reaction to one of the most outrageous spots involving Darby Allin from Sunday's main event. When I saw Darby the other night hit the steps, I'm thinking, God bless you, Darby. But in 30 years, 20 years, those things will come back to haunt you. Take a look at Mick Foley. Hulk Hogan's had a hard time getting around, from what I understand. Go back and watch any of ours, and you could like at that and say that match would have been fine without that bump. Tony Schiavone continued. They do it for the fan reaction. That's what drives them. I get caught up in it too. The excitement of it, but sometimes I sit back and I wonder, how many dives do we actually need in a show? So there was no update on Darby Allin's condition coming out of Wrestle Dream. I think Darby Allin will probably be taking, some time off. Will Ospreay signs for major match at upcoming Impact Wrestling event. Not a fan of Impact Wrestling. Looks like going to be at Bound for Glory. So there you go. Will Ospreay just signed for a major match at a Impact event. Adam Copeland addresses WWE relationship after signing with AEW. Adam Copeland is ready for the next stage of his career after debuting for AEW Sunday Night at Wrestle Dream. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Copeland went out of his way to express his gratitude to WWE for all they had done for him. I am so thankful for every aspect of my career, and I'll be forever thankful for the WWE. It was the only place I wanted to work. We reached a place where we done all we could do together. And I guarantee you this, they're not mad. I'm not mad. I received so many texts from the office, from the travel department, from the talent relations department, music department, from the performers, from the big suits, and none of them are mad. They're happy for me, and I'm happy. They're going to continue to crush it too. And I have more of an opportunity to help the entire wrestling business in AEW. So he left WWE on a good note. His contract, expired. So, so it's very weird, seeing Adam Copeland in AEW since we, have known him, and seen him in WWE for years. And I know people are like, oh, well, Edge is a sellout. Oh, because he went to AEW, he let his contract expire. Didn't Cody, go from AEW to WWE? You're saying that about Adam Copeland. Where was all the fans when, Cody Rhodes ended up going to WWE and leaving AEW? Where was the people online calling Cody a sellout? But yet they're calling Adam Copeland a sellout. Just enjoy what Adam Copeland will have to offer in AEW. So I'm saying I sat with this decision for a while. This was Copeland said of him signing with AEW. It wasn't a quick overnight thing. When I looked at this on paper, it was a no-brainer. But I was thinking with my head and my heart. And those two things don't always agree. My girls helped me see clearly on this decision. They love the idea that I get to work with Uncle Jay, who is Christian Cage, who is my best friend. My girls made it all make so much sense for me. So that was what Edge, said. He left WWE on good terms. And he's working full time in AEW. WWE didn't grant Edge, to, working full time. Zack Sabre Jr. demands rematch against Bryan Danielson. So Sabre stood backstage, shared a message for Bryan Danielson, indicating that he and the American Dragon still have unfinished business. So he ended up saying, Bryan, I happily admit that you're one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I wrestled you in 2008. You put me on the map. For that, I'll be eternally grateful. But today, darling, we were supposed to sell something, weren't we? Who really is the best technical wrestler? Not in the world right now, but probably of all bloody time. But knocking me out, Bryan, that's a scoundrel move from Brittle Bryan. So, I'm saying we're going to do the rematch in my home turf in England, or my adopted home turf of Japan, because I did you the proper solid of coming to Seattle. Submission in Seattle, huh? But you didn't beat me by submission, Bryan. We'll find out in the rematch who the best technical wrestler in the world is. And I'll put you in retirement for good, dickhead. That was what Sabre ended up saying about Bryan here. So he wants his rematch against Bryan. But Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr., good match. It was at Wrestle Dream on Sunday. Very physical match between the both of them. Jim Ross recalls the King Jerry Lawler's on-air heart attack in WWE. Of course, talking about the heart attack that Jerry Lawler had on Monday Night Raw in September of 2012, where Jerry Lawler suffered a heart attack. He collapsed at the commentary booth next to Michael Cole. And it was live on TV. I remember watching that night. And Michael Cole, he was a heel at that time, 2011 into 2012. And then when that happened, he turned back into a babyface, Michael Cole. He went on the air and he ended up saying, Jerry Lawler, got taken to the hospital. He had a heart attack, collapsed at the commentary booth, saying, thoughts and prayers to, Jerry Lawler. But it was scary, seeing Jerry Lawler, just like that, collapsing like that on TV, on live TV on Monday Night Raw. And, just, it was just, dead commentary, when that happened. But this is what JR had to say. JR has assumed the role of an advisor. He was coaching announcers at the Performance Center at that time. So on his podcast, Grilling JR, he ended up speaking about this. He ended up saying, "I was scared to death." Ross recalled his reaction. "I remember so vividly Jan, my late wife, was just beside herself. She was trying to figure out if it was a TV angle. I said, 'I don't think so, honey. I think this is the real deal.' And it was the real deal, unfortunately. But fortunately, Jerry survived." So this is what also Jim Ross, said. "Just for me to be able to sit in his chair ringside was really special. I think it was a good call, and I appreciated Kevin Dunn's confidence in me. I was just excited that A, Jerry was still alive, and B, they were giving me the opportunity to sit in his spot." Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, they were the voices of my childhood. They were the best commentary duo at that time in the Attitude Era and into the Ruthless Aggression Era. They just had amazing chemistry, with each other on commentary. Oh, yeah. Road Dogg admits he was scared to death of Attitude Era WWE star. On a recent episode of Oh You Didn't Know, he explained that Steve Blackman used to terrify him, especially after witnessing him get into a dust-up with JBL at an airport. He kept saying, "I was scared to death of him. I was present at the fight between him and Bradshaw, where it's told so, and so was knocked out cold. And this was that. None of that happened, but it was a scary place to be, and Bradshaw was not happy, was not on the happy end of it." So James recalled Blackman throwing a kick during the fight, getting his foot stuck in the baggage claim, which resulted in a bag flying across the floor and instilling more fear in the Road Dogg. He had saying the brawl wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, but it was dang sure a fight, and it scared me. Well, so Steve Blackman was crazy there. Oh, Delaney Jordan wins first match in NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. She defeated Izzy Dame on NXT on Tuesday. She has potential, Delaney Jordan. So that's basically it for the wrestling news here. Did you see Gigi Dolan versus Ava Raine feud in NXT? Yeah. Do you see Ava Raine doing a good job solo without Shizen by her side? Ava, I think they're going to give her a pretty good push. I mean, she is The Rock's daughter. I have a sense that WWE will give her a pretty good push. Do you think she'll do an excellent job solo? Yeah, I think so. She has potential. From what I read, they're going to have Roman Reigns beat Hulk Hogan's record. I mean, title record. So it looks like Cody Rhodes is not going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year. It's time for Roman Reigns to drop the title. They want to put the title on Cody Rhodes this year because they fucked up last year with it, or at this year's WrestleMania. But, WWE, they're probably going to put the title on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, next year. Let's see if there's any movie news out there. Let me see. Going to Cinema Blend. This Star Trek 4 writer teases J.J. Abrams' role. Don't care about Star Trek. AI puts Robert Downey Jr. in the Batman suit and Ben Affleck in Iron Man's. One of them looks better. Where is this? This loads fast. Oh, this is on Instagram here. All right, here it is. That had to load. Yeah, it's the picture right here. Not bad. Not bad. There's Robert Downey Jr. as Batman. Looks pretty good in the Batman suit. And Ben Affleck as Iron Man. Not bad. Both look pretty good in the suits. Loki season 2 is online and stream, new MCU show episodes. Yeah, Loki has just came on Disney Plus for season 2. Uh, uh, it came on Disney Plus here at 9 o'clock here in Eastern time. So I will check out Loki season 2. I'm looking forward to it. Barbie. Chris Rock and Steven Spielberg are teamed up for a movie about Martin Luther King Jr. Spielberg did Lincoln years ago. Why not do a movie about Martin Luther King? Universal Pictures has secured the film rights to the Jonathan Penn biography, King Alive. Chris Rock is in final negotiations to direct and produce. Steven Spielberg will contribute as an executive producer. Oh, so Spielberg will just be an executive producer of the film. I thought he was directing the film. This will mark the first time these two have worked together, although back in 2007, Rock told Collider that Jerry Seinfeld tricked him into joining B-Movie by saying that Spielberg was involved in it. This could be good. Chris Rock at the helm in it. Spielberg being executive producer. Paris Hilton's life story is being turned into a TV show. Who cares? Yeah. Nothing too big on movie news here. iCarly was canceled by Paramount Plus. Didn't even watch the reboot of iCarly. Heard it was awful. So yeah, nothing for movie news there. They should have Cody Rhodes' brother at WrestleMania next year, either in the audience or help him beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Do you agree or disagree with me? Dustin is with AEW, I think, still. may be wrong on that, but if he decides to leave AEW and join his brother back in WWE, that would be decent. Even though I hope if he does go back, no Goldust, please, just Dustin Rhodes. Do you think CM Punk will be at Survivor Series this year because it's in his hometown? And he said he has too much to do with things before Survivor Series because it's in his hometown. Well, maybe there's rumors going around saying, maybe Punk, could come back at Survivor Series because, of course, it's in Chicago. But it is up to Vince McMahon if he wants to bring back CM Punk for Survivor Series. And yes, from what I read, Survivor Series, War Games is going to be taking place at Survivor Series from what I heard. So I'm glad that they're, doing War Games again. But anyways, now we're 51 minutes on this stream. I'm going to close it up. Almost 2 hours. It was a fun stream, with you guys. Thank you for, commenting and hanging out with me. Always a joy doing these, live streams. They're very fun. I'll continue to do more of these. It's been a while since I did a live stream of this. But we'll want to continue doing these. These are very fun. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me on this Thursday night. So definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow night for SmackDown and AEW Rampage. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow night.